Hi, I'm BJ Marshall. I'm the Executive Director of Highway Connections, and on today's Thoughts from the Road, we're going to look at changing the way that I look at the road. I was preparing a sermon one time when I came across an interesting phrase in John chapter 1. In John chapter 1, we find John the Baptist talking to two of his disciples. He has just pointed Jesus out for the second time, saying, there's the Lamb of God that takes away the sin of the world. When his disciples got up and they started following Jesus. Jesus noticed them following him, and this little Q&A session started between Jesus and these two disciples. We'll pick up the story in John chapter 1, starting in verse 38. Jesus, turning and saw them following, and said to them, "What are you seeking?" And they said to him, "Rabbi," which means teacher, "where are you staying?" He, Jesus, said to them, "Come and you will see." So they came and saw where he was staying, and they stayed with him that day, for it was about the 10th hour. The phrase that jumped out to me was this idea of come and see. When Jesus saw them and they asked where he was staying, Jesus said, "Come, see where I'm staying." Well, I wondered if there was more to these two simple words than what we hear in English. So I dove into the Greek to see if there were any nuggets of gold in these words, and guess what? There was some gold in them there hills. Looking at this Greek word for come, I found out that it was more than just this idea of come over here. But it was this idea of coming and abiding, of staying somewhere, of dwelling in a new location. Man, I've had times in my life where I've just felt disconnected from the people around me. Be it from not spending time together or my schedule being so busy that friendships just seem to fall into a lower priority. While I was driving as a trucker over the road, this seemed to happen more and more frequently. Even though technology has gotten to the point where we can communicate easier, not being there face to face just seemed to slowly decrease that. I was one of the lucky ones though on the road because I got to come home every week. Some of the guys that I know that are out there driving, they're gone for 2, 3, or more weeks at a time. Jesus was inviting these disciples to come, to be part of his community, to dwell and to be part of something bigger than themselves. Even when I was apart from loved ones, Jesus invited me to come and be part of his family, of his community. But there were two words. The second word, this idea of see, this is where the gold truly was for me in this phrase. You see, the word to see for us seems to be, look at that thing over there. But here in the Greek, it was more than just to look. It was to actually change my perspective, to see things from a different point of view. I can tell you this, you hop up into the cab of a big rig truck and your entire world changes. How you see things completely changes. You don't see things from the same angle anymore. You don't fuel up in the same part of a gas station. You can't even turn the same way. You have to change all of that, to the point that my wife still complains that I drive our family car like a semi-truck and why are you turning so wide? You don't need all that space. But my perspective had changed. How I saw things had changed. This is the same idea that Jesus is inviting us to with this idea of come and see. Come, be part of something different. See things differently. Change your perspective. This invitation is really for everybody, not just truckers, not just people sitting in their seats at home. Jesus wants you to come, be part of something bigger than yourself, to come see things from a heavenly perspective.